leading and succeeding every day as students walk into my classroom in American Falls, Idaho.
I believe that to live and work on a good farm or to be engaged in other agricultural pursuits is pleasant as well as challenging, because farming this rich soil in northern Maine has been a part of my family for generations.
Creo en nuestro propio liderazgo y el respeto a los demás. Porque al utilizar esta chaqueta azul me hace recordar que soy un líder y que pertenezco a una comunidad mucho más grande que yo mismo.
I believe in less dependence on begging and more power in bargaining, because I see how the farmers, ranchers, and agriculturists in my home state of Illinois and across the country are building the backbone of our country.
I believe that American agriculture can and will hold true to the best traditions of our national life, because of the value we place on every avenue of agriculture, including my Colorado-based research projects.
But I never wore the blue jacket.
But my family's legacy isn't yet my own.
Pero no me parezco a la mayoría de las personas en la FFA.
I didn't grow up on a farm.
But I don't know if I can really make a difference.
How can we empower advisors to provide members with the best opportunities possible?
What empowers production agriculturalists to leave their mark on the farm?
¿Cómo podemos empoderar a los demás para que vean su valor en la FFA?
Who needs to be empowered along their path in agriculture?
What empowers people to make a real difference?
From my hometown of Lexington, Kentucky, Tyron Harris is currently serving as the first ever Kentucky FFA state officer from Carter G. FFA. Carter G. Woodson Academy has been serving young men of color in grades 6 through 12 for over a decade by emphasizing culturally responsive teaching, history, and for Tyron and his classmates, agriculture. Today, Tyron represents students that come from non-traditional agriculture backgrounds, not just in Kentucky, but across the country. As a minority in agriculture and an urban FFA member, Tyron shows all that wear the blue jacket that there is a place for each of us in agriculture. What does it take to empower? Tyron reminds us that it takes every member.
As a senior in high school, my mom took this picture with the National FFA Secretary at the time. Now, my mom did not come from a farming family, and outside of showing a few market steers, she had no reason to stay involved in agriculture throughout her life. However, just a few months later, she would begin her journey to become an agriculture educator and FFA advisor. Often, my grandma would ask, "You really think you can teach all these kids how to farm?" In which my mom would reply, "You don't understand. It's more than that." Nobody understood why. Now, in her 25th year of teaching, my mom's passion for agriculture and desire to help everyone she meets has changed the lives of thousands of students. Even when people thought it didn't make sense, she believed in the direction her heart was taking her. What does it take to empower? My mom teaches us it takes every passion.
In September of 2024, Hurricane Helene devastated the southeastern United States. For many of us here in this room, including my own FFA chapter in Georgia, this obstacle sat much closer to home. Farms were flattened, timberlands destroyed, and agribusinesses weakened, causing over $10 billion in damages. And for many, this obstacle seemed insurmountable. Yet FFA chapters across the region refused to stand still. Beargrass Charter FFA in North Carolina raised over $16,000 for families in need. In the state of Tennessee, Irwin FFA organized community support events to help farmers who had lost millions in damages. What does it take to empower? FFA chapters across the country model it takes facing every obstacle.
Fabiana Amnesty immigrated from Venezuela to Orange County, Florida as a freshman in high school. She spoke Spanish, but struggled to communicate with other Spanish speakers due to dialect differences, and wondered how her family was going to make this new place feel like home. During this difficult time in her life, she found FFA. Her advisor encouraged her to participate in the Spanish Creed Invitational, and with lots of encouragement, Fabiana decided she was willing to try. After months and months of practice, she ended up winning the state and national contest in 2024. Fabiana and I, we come from two very different walks of life. I competed in the Creed in English, came from a chapter of 60 members, and answered questions with experiences from my family's farm in Illinois. Fabiana competed in Spanish, came from a chapter of hundreds of members, and did it all with her childhood home thousands of miles away. But we both found our family in the blue jacket. What does it take to empower? Fabiana demonstrates that it takes every walk of life.
Mr. Harry Stein grew up in rural Iowa in the 1940s. Raised in a farming family, he quickly developed a passion for agriculture, especially seeds. While he loved learning in the fields, Mr. Stein struggled in his classes. Diagnosed with autism and dyslexia from an early age, some teachers struggled to recognize his potential. Until he enrolled in agricultural education and joined FFA. Mr. Stein's advisor, Bill Schnell, welcomed his experience, encouraged him to compete in livestock evaluation and to attend national convention. Mr. Stein grew into a confident member who found a place to call home. After graduation, Mr. Stein began to research soybean genetics, developed his own genetic variations, and formed Stein Seed, now one of the world's largest private seed companies. Today, Forbes recognizes Mr. Stein as one of America's most successful businessmen. What does it take to empower? Mr. Stein shows us it takes every experience.
We all know what it's like to receive bad news. My family felt that on June 16th, 2003, when my cousin Matthew was born missing his corpus callosum, the piece of the brain connecting left and right hemispheres. Doctors predicted he would never be able to tie his shoes, ride a bike, swim, or drive. At the time, it felt like these results would define his entire story. Fast forward 18 years. Matthew pulls his Ford Edge into the county fair parking lot, zips up his blue jacket just like you and I, and heads into the rabbit show. where, as he loves to remind me, he became the first member of our family to bring home a winning buckle. Winning the County Fair Rabbit Show may not seem like this mountainous victory, but to Matthew, it was huge. Big, small, disappointing, celebratory, we don't always choose the results we face in life, but what matters is experiencing them all, learning from each one, and letting it shape the story we tell. What does it take to empower? Matthew proves it takes every result.
97 years ago, 33 farmers came together to establish what we enjoy today. For nearly a century, millions have worn the blue corduroy. And today, 1,042,245 FFA members bring their unique value to our organization. From 33 to over a million. For us to empower, we need every member.
No matter if we're growing the food, fuel, and fiber we need, conducting agricultural research, educating others about our industry, or going on to be an informed consumer, each of our backgrounds and interests contribute to a greater desire to provide for our world. When we empower, we rely on every passion.
Everywhere we look, we can find a reason not to have hope. We can choose to focus on natural disasters, struggles at home, or any other problem that we may face. Or we can choose to focus on the opportunity that these obstacles give us to step up and serve. In order to empower, we must face every obstacle.
We're gathered in a stadium that's hosted sold-out concerts, Super Bowls, and now, thousands of individuals who have traveled near and far to unite in brotherhood. Each of us with our own path, our own story, our own unique journey. To empower, it takes every walk of life.
Our mission to develop as leaders in agriculture has remained constant for decades. But no two experiences in agriculture have ever been the same. To empower our organization, we enhance every experience.
One step at a time, we accomplish something new in our journey. Some victories seem grand, others not so much, but each is a part of our story, and that's one we're sharing. When we empower, we find value in every result.
Every member.
Every passion.
Every obstacle.
Every walk of life.
Every experience. Every result.
It takes all of us to
empower.
Does showtime!